It's 2023 and you probably went through the holidays and you probably held back in upgrading some gear. So I wanted to share in this video the best tech that I use in 2022 for YouTube working from home. Okay, so in this video, we're going to be sharing my top tech gear of 2022, and it's not going to be in any particular order. So I'm going to be starting with the Mac Mini from 2020. This Mac Mini that I purchased is the 2020 model. I was using this when I started my YouTube channel, and I've always had some temptations in upgrading to the Mac Studio. This has been an absolute beast. Even though I've been tempted to upgrade, doing YouTube videos and other client work and other different things from day to day, 4K editing, this thing has been capable, more than capable. I would say for this Mac Mini, the only downfall that I would say for me is just the rendering time or the export time while it is creating the file. And it's not a big deal as long as I know when I'm going to create that. Luckily, I do still have another MacBook. So I have a MacBook Pro from 2016, which was my old editing computer. And when I need to, while that is exporting my videos, I can switch over to that or my iPad, etc. This has powered 2 displays for me. I have a Odyssey G9 49-inch. I also have a LG 4K monitor that I use as well. And because of the Apple ecosystem, I can even use an iPad as another display as well, or another MacBook, or even my MacBook Pro, which is amazing. So that hasn't held up in the amount of displays I can use, but literally because I have that big 49-inch display and that 4K display, 27 inches, it's been absolutely amazing. I'm still tempted to move to the Mac Studio. Now that we're in 2023, we'll see. They might be an upgraded version of the Mac Mini coming out this year. The M2 maybe, M2 Pro, we'll see. And maybe I'll upgrade to that. But in 2022, this has been amazing. So the next tech gear that's been with me and that I use almost every single day is the Rodecaster Pro. The Rodecaster Pro does all my audio recording for my podcast, my YouTube videos, my Zoom calls, my day-to-day when I'm using my monitor speakers for my Mac Mini M1. So that has been a staple gear, my tech gear of 2022. What I love about the Rodecaster Pro, I'm running 2 mics with it right now. It has capabilities up to 4. I've got a lot of YouTube videos about the Rodecaster Pro, so check those out as well. The big thing about the Rodecaster Pro that for me is a little bit of a nuisance and a little bit annoying is even though the preamps of the Rodecaster Pro is amazing, is the headphone preamp. So when I'm plugging in, I'm trying to monitor the audio. It's not that great. So that is the one thing that I don't like about the Rodecaster Pro. The Rodecaster Pro with the sound effects, changing with my boom mic as well as for my podcast. I have the Shure SM7B as well. It works great for everything audio for 2022. And we'll see. If something happens to it this year, I may upgrade, but until then, it has been a workhorse and it's still working great. All right, on the same lines of the top gear for 2022 is going to be paired with that Rodecaster Pro, which is the Shure SM7B. That thing is a staple microphone for my day-to-day, for my Zoom calls, for my day work, for my YouTube videos, for certain YouTube videos, specifically voiceovers, as well as my podcast. Again, if you want to listen to my podcast, I'll have the link below. It's the Elevate Project podcast. And it's been amazing. It's my go-to mic. Next for 2022 has to be the Sony ZV-E10. I do have 2 cameras on my list. for 2022, for the majority of my videos, this has been my main camera. It's my talking head cam. It does some reels, shorts, as well as photography. So I did upgrade my camera for YouTube, but this has now been my kind of B cam, my top-down shot, close-ups. Also, even when I'm doing client work, I'll take this with me. What I'm really enjoying with this camera in the end of 2022 and most likely for a little bit of 2023, depending on the different cameras that come out, is learning photography. For me, it's low cost. It's a great beginner camera. Even if you didn't want to do any color grading, just with standard profile, it has an incredible image. Unlimited video recording. So it is a video. I believe it's a little bit more video centric and has been a staple. And I absolutely enjoyed this camera in 2022. Now, along with this camera, as well as the new camera I'll be talking about a little bit later, is the Sigma 16mm 1.4. What's on this camera right now is the Sigma 30mm 1.4, which I've done a majority of my videos as well in 2022. Definitely my favorite, and the one that I'm using the most now is the 16mm Sigma 1.4. So those are the two lenses that I've been using, and again, a staple of 2022, specifically for YouTube, videography, and client work. Been two great lenses that absolutely work great with APS-C and Sony cameras. Next on the list are SSD hard drives. These are the two hard drives that I use to edit every single YouTube video. Well, I would say one of these two has been in one project workflow or the other. The first one that I probably say for at least my first at least 50 videos is the Samsung T5. This is a 1 terabit hard drive. Because the Mac Mini M1 only has 500 gigabytes of SSD, I connect this through the Thunderbolt port, and this has been amazing. I haven't had any issues. This is great to edit off of. What I found when I started doing some client work, that this wasn't large enough. And I was going to upgrade to the Samsung T7, which I would still highly recommend. It just so happened that the SanDisk Extreme, this is not the Extreme Pro, this is the SanDisk Extreme SSD, and this is a 2 terabit hard drive, this was just on sale. And I was kind of comparing the two in speed. I may do a video on this because this is great. Like, I love how this is built. Obviously, it's a little bit more rugged than the T5. And the T5 and T7 are very similar when we're talking about the build, outside build. Now, there is a different version of the Samsung T7 that's a little bit more rugged. For my workflow, 4K video, I'm not doing any 6K or 8K video editing. These two have been fantastic and have done the job in 2022. Again, if you're looking and you want to rewind or go forward and you're looking for these products, they will be linked in the description below. Right, next on the list, when it comes to 2022, when it's talking about videos and my top gear, outside of my key light, the key light that I'm using, I won't really discuss it in this video. This is a set it and forget it. What I did find when I did start doing a little bit of client work and even just some video work for personal projects, for my daughter's dance recitals and those type of things, where I'm able to record video, is these Neewer light bars. I'm going to say they come in a pair. These are great because it has your daylight. It also changes, I believe, don't quote me on this. If I'm wrong, I'll put it in the description below. 3200 to 6500 or 5600, no, 3200 to 6500 Kelvin. You can also power this through Sony batteries, these ones that just plug in, which will, let's see if this has got power. This might, okay. Oh yeah, there we go. So it's just powering by the batteries, NPF if you wanted to. I've had to use that for some video work that I did. And like I said, it has it's bicolor, it's got RGB, it's good to go. And one of the main reasons why I got these lights was to replace my hue light that casts behind me, because in post, the hue light, for whatever reason, was always flickering and it really bothered me. I wanted to get some video lights, and because most of my videos are like this talking head, these are great because they're versatile and they're fairly affordable. And they come in two. They come with two of these, like I said, two outlets, and also a case, a remote, and two light stands. That's all included. Neewer, I'm going to say light bars, I believe is what they're called. And again, they can be powered by the Sony NPF batteries. These batteries. I mean, I'll put in the link in the description below. All right, next on the list is my iPad Pro and / iPad Air. So if you followed me for a while, you know that I've been using an older iPad Pro. This is the 10.5 inch. This has been one of my top gear for 2022. There are a few things that I do on the iPad specifically for YouTube and content creation and all the things. I really didn't want to bring, when I travel or I move around, this MacBook Pro. This is the other computer that I have that can do many different things. But when it comes to surfing the web, using Notion, which is the app that I use, the program that I use to organize my life, organize my YouTube channel, and also scripting and getting and jotting down ideas. This is a little bit overkill and it's a little bit heavy, and then you got to find a place to put this around. And I always like the iPad Pro 10.5. There is nothing wrong with this iPad. It still works fine. It still does Notion. It still does surfing the web and watching YouTube. Great, just fine. It's a perfect size. I have a keyboard for this thing as well. What had happened was my daughter's iPad accidentally broke. She dropped it, the screen shattered, and I thought, hey, in the meantime, I'll give her my iPad Pro to use, because there's certain things for school that they use to learn, things like Prodigy and Google Classroom, that type of thing. So perfect. Great. Good to go. And then I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to get an upgraded version, go with the iPad Pro M1 or go with a iPad Air M1. And I'm not going to lie, I have a lot of Apple products. I have the Mac Mini, obviously the MacBook Pro, I got an iPhone, I got all these things. And looking at the prices and what I use an iPad for, I ended up getting an iPad Air 4th generation. So I have it right here, and there's certain things that I do with the iPad. So this is the iPad Air. I think it's green. I don't know if you can see the color there. It's a nice color, a little bit of a change. And the iPad Air 4th gen does more than enough than what I use an iPad for. It does the YouTube. I can go on YouTube Studio, and the one app that I really used the iPad Air and my old iPad Pro in 2022 is using the Apple Pencil for my thumbnails. So I might start my thumbnails in something like Canva, and then I'll take that picture or that photo and I'll put it into Procreate. And with the Apple Pencil is when I can really make that thumbnail my own. I just love the feel of like pen to paper, well, I guess pen to pad or iPad, just to be able to be a little bit more creative versus everything just completely digital copy and paste. So yeah, the iPad Pro 10.5 and the iPad Air 4th generation, top gear, one of the top gear for 2022. Okay, so for my last top gear of 2022 that I've been using is the Sony FX30. That's what I'm using right now with the Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens. Obviously, I don't have it in front of me, but this has been a great camera. I started using it as soon as it came out. Obviously, what I love about the Sony FX30, not only does it have the 10-bit, not only is it still APS-C, I can still use my old lenses. Not only is it on the cinema line, it's got Cine EI. It is a camera that I've actually been able to use for things outside of YouTube that I didn't think I would have an opportunity to do. So this has been a camera that I've been using in and out of YouTube. It's a camera that I'm still learning as well. It is a passion and curiosity of videography, doing YouTube and doing all the things. And this is just getting me to learn a little bit more. So that's the Sony FX30. So those are the top gear for 2022 for me, for my YouTube channel, as well as outside of YouTube, working from home. If you found value in this video, you know what to do. And if you like content like this one, hit the video over here or over here. Be safe, stay awesome, and I'll catch you in the next one.